Hi, this is Chris Merrick with Ensemble Designs, and today we're going to talk about how to create a 32 input multiviewer using our Avenue products. Let's get started. A list of the components you will need is two MV164s and an MV82. So the first thing you need to do is insert the modules into the chassis. The first MV164 goes in slots 9 and 10. The second MV164 goes in slots 7 and 8. And the MV82 goes in slot 6. Next, we're going to wire up the chassis. Let's insert our 32 inputs, and we're going to arrange the interconnection between the modules like this. We're going to take outputs 1 and 2 from the first MV164 and send them into the MV82, and take the outputs from the second MV164 and feed them to inputs 3 and 4 on the MV182. Next, let's set the IP address of each module so that we can access it through the web. So let's go over how we're going to configure these multiviewers. First, let's configure the first MV164. Let's set it up with 2 outputs and 8 cells per output for a total of 16. We'll set up the second MV164 the same way. Now we have 4 outputs that we're going to feed into our MV82. The MV82 we're going to configure as a quad split. So input 1 is going to be upper left, input 2 is going to be upper right, input 3 will be lower left, and input 4 will be lower right. This way we will have complete configuration over all the cells, and using the MV82 as a combiner to combine 32 inputs to 1 output. So let's go to the web page for the first MV164. We're going to go to Settings, click on Multiviewer, and notice that the icons for the MV units or the tokens are distributed across all 4 outputs. We want to drag the tokens or the MV units to these 2 outputs, output 1 and output 2, and save changes. Go to the next MV164, let's go to Multiviewer, move it so that we're only using 2 outputs and all the resources are available for those 2 outputs. Save those changes, and let's go to the MV82, and we want to be set up on a single output. So let's edit the layout for the MV82 or the combiner multiviewer. We simply want a quad split, so we just draw input 1, input 2, input 3, and input 4. Now we don't see anything yet because we haven't configured the MV164s. So now let's configure the MV164. We want this to be a dual 8 input. So we can go in here and let's draw in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 inputs. Hit done, and let's draw in 8 more inputs on the second output. I'm going to change the layout to be something different for 5, 6, 7, 8. Now if we look at the multiviewer output, we can see that it is starting to fill in the upper left and the upper right. Let's go back to configuring. And in fact, I can bring up the multiviewer output on our screen as we're configuring. Let's go to the second MV164. Go to Edit. And let's make this one be a 3x3 grid. So now as I'm filling them in, you can see the multiviewer is populating in nicely. And we got the other half, the bottom right, which is this output, to configure as well. And so let's make that one be 3x3, and let's start over here. So there we go, we got the multiviewer configured for 32 inputs. Of course, you can go through the layouts and adjust different parameters. Just remember that the first MV164 is the upper left and upper right. and the second MV164 is lower left and lower right. In the MV82, this is a quad split. That's the combiner of all the MV164s. Thanks for watching.